So I went by the White Horse last Friday to hang up some band posters, and while I was there, Dennis walked in, and Dennis always buys me a beer, if not 3 or 4, and a shot or 2. But anyway, we end up drinking at the end of the bar with a couple of friends of his, and this story came out of that. Please note the interjections of the sound man doing mic checks during this. It got kind of loud, and finally I had to tell Dennis to turn it down. Anyway, this is a story. It's kind of about fame.
Ashley and I went to Vancouver Island, BC.
Okay.
Right? To live for the summer. It's really, really pretty out there.
Yeah.
Right? So I quit this band, and I was like, I'm just going to get out there for a while. And we went over illegally. The guy said you can only stay for so many months.
Dennis the White Horse just turned the stereo down so maybe we can hear better. All right, sorry.
Well, we moved to the Vancouver Island, BC.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, right? And the Mountie behind the thing says if you don't come back with this form in 3 months, we're going to send somebody after you and deport you.
So you're not like jumping?
Yeah, because I don't have so much cash on me when I crossed the border, so I told them we're just like stopping and hanging out. And they're like, well, we're not giving you a visa.
How much cash did you have?
It was $1,000 American. It was turned
American or Canadian?
It turned into $2,000 American. Canadian.
How many
Really?
loonies
I
would
thought
that
it was
be?
Oh,
it is the other way around now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
This
yeah.
was like in 2001, maybe.
And loonies were still good back then.
Yeah, the $2.
The loonie.
Yeah, loonie and the toonies.
Okay.
Yeah.
They
Well,
were solid back then.
I get out there and I start working construction,
Don't you know?
and I ended up scoring this sweet job at a restaurant on the beach. And we were deciding to go Baker Mountain. It's on an island, so you got to take the ferry back to Seattle. And I figured I'd go because I had my dog and all of our shit in the car, so they only gave me a
That
short
doesn't have a tail?
Yeah.
That dog?
Model's gonna
Same
be.
dog?
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, she's 11 or 12 years
Fair
old now.
enough. Proceed.
Well, so we go to the Canadian people are on the island, and you give them the piece of paper before you leave the island. So I'm in the line for the ferry. The guy comes by and says, y'all got great accents, hope you guys had a good time. I'm like, sure. So I give him the piece of paper, and he takes off. And it's about an hour before we leave the ferry. So I'm like, it's about $180 each way on the ferry.
Jesus.
Yeah, so it was a lot, maybe for them, you know?
Yeah, that's.
I don't know
So I tell Ashley, I was like, you know what I bet we can do? We can back out of this line and not pay to come back and just be under the radar this month. And they'll never even know that we're on, right? So I tell the guy with the cones to come over to the car. I was like, she ain't feeling good, we're not getting on. You mind backing everybody up? Like, yeah, sure, Reagan. He's like, backs everybody up and we leave. And so I think at that point I'm under the radar. Nobody knows that I'm in Canada illegally.
Right.
And about a week later, so I think I'm, you know, all
Cool.
good and clear,
Okay.
right? And then maybe about 2 weeks later, we get surrounded. I'm on running errands. We just smoked a bowl. I left, got in the car, and we get completely surrounded by the feds, American feds.
American feds.
Federal agents. And they're yelling, get your fucking hands out of the car, put your keys out of the car. And then Ashley starts to get out of the car, and they put a gun to her head and put her back in the car.
Wow.
I get out of the car and pow with the pistol in the back of the head.
Really?
Knock me to my knees. Hog tie me with the gun in the back of my neck.
Really?
Yeah. Throw me in the cop car, right? And at this point, they're driving me to the station, right? And they start talking shit to me. And
The
I'm
federal agent?
Yeah.
Like America? Wow.
And I thought I was being deported the whole time. Because that's what I figured that was going down.
Wait.
Why are you treating me so brutal?
Wait, no, I'm confused. This was in
This
Canada?
is in Canada.
So American fed.
At the time, I didn't know they were unmarked cop cars.
Oh, so it could have been anybody.
Anybody
You
in
didn't know it. Okay.
I thought I was getting deported. It turns out that they were the feds. Right.
Wow.
And so they're yelling shit at me with the rearview mirror, and I was like, "Fuck you and your mustache and your dumb cop face, you pussy! I'll beat you out of that pretty little uniform." And like, I'm running my mouth to these guys, and they're giving it right back to me, right? And so then they throw me in jail, and I'm sitting there for hours it seems. And this guy comes by the cell, and goes, "Hey, sir, would you like any coffee, sir?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, that sounds great." He goes, "Oh, hey, sir, would you like any cream and sugar?" And I fucking laughed out loud. I was like, what? You just hit me with a gun. You just hit me with a pistol.
What do you
want
want to ask?
sugar? You guys are comedians. Black, thanks. You guys are funny. You know? He's like, "Oh, okay, sir." And then he goes, and they bring me out of the cell like hours later. I might have been there for 10 hours. And I'm in the across the desk from a Mountie, and everybody in Vancouver Island is like weird nice. They're all like Brady Bunch, really
South Park.
friendly. Yeah, they're really nice.
Yeah.
And so we're hitting it off, and we're talking about movies and politics and bullshit. And he asked me, like, "What was the last time you were in California?" And I told him I was never in California. I told him the story where I went to Yellowstone National Park in the end of April, almost first week of May, to find out that it was closed. I'm naive. I'm
Like
from
going
Texas.
to Graceland.
Yeah. Why would they close?
What do you mean
a
it's
park?
only closed on Tuesdays for cleaning?
It's not Wally World, man. It's,
I totally had the Wally World moment.
Yeah,
got out of the car,
yeah.
knocking on doors.
Right. Hey, wait.
Closed. And there's a road that cuts across Wyoming to get to that park. So like, there's no turning left and going the other way. You
I've
know,
been down that road.
you just turn
Clark
around.
W. Griswold.
But you can go about 180 on that road, so that's kind of cool.
There's a giant elk that'll crush it.
Well, that's true. You don't want to.
Toyota or whatever you're driving. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
So you know, we keep talking. At this point, I probably seem really relaxed, and that's freaking them out a little bit because I figure, all right, you're gonna deport me, write me a ticket, I'll never pay you. It was fun.
Right.
And so he comes back and he says, all right, thanks, man. You're well pleased.
Hey, Nate.
Hey, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Good looking.
Good to see you.
You too. So he keeps talking shit, and at one point he's like, so the last time you were in California, and that's when my blood ran a little cold. So I was like,
He is good looking.
yeah, I was like, what do you,
Look at him.
what do you think that I've done?
I mean, can't
And he
you
goes,
tell?
you know what you've done, son.
Even Ray Charles seen that.
All right. I was like, well, is the name, my name that I gave you, the one that you're looking for? And he goes, no, it's Jesse James Hollywood. Which
Jesse
to me,
James Hollywood?
now doesn't that sound like from a Canadian?
Right.
That means
Yeah.
fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're from Texas. Bang, bang. We're looking for Jesse James Hollywood, hot shot or whatever.
Right,
So I was
right.
like, oh yeah, you guys are hilarious. Well, we're done talking. And he goes, blah, 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 and he starts getting all in my face. I was like, lawyer, you guys want to give me another cup of coffee? That'll be great. And so they pick me up on my arm and throw me back into jail.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh.
So at that point I was like, okay, something's fucked, and I don't know what it is, right? But hours later, they open the cell and go, you're free to go. And I look out, and my girl's there with the keys. I didn't ask her any questions at all.
Ow.
Yeah, see it. So about a week or two after that, America's Most Wanted calls my house, my apartment at the time, right? And they go, well, we want to film a reenactment. See, it was somebody in the apartment complex
You gotta be shit.
called the show and said,
Thought that you were there.
thought I was the guy.
Oh my God! In your.
In the version, they actually sent a plainclothes cop to the door, and he's a
But I want to
Canadian.
see that picture.
I do.
Yeah,
That,
there's an episode of America's Most Wanted.
and you're on it?
Yeah, we reenact the
That
entire
is not
thing.
true to life.
It is.
You
That's not
personally
true to
on
life.
America's Most
Yeah, they
Wanted.
interviewed me and everything.
Dude.
No.
It's true. It's
That
hilarious.
is not true to life.
And they made a movie about Jesse James Hollywood. It's called Alpha Dog, and Justin Timberlake plays some dude.
He's good at
And he's good at it.
it. No, he is. It made me like him
I love
as an actor.
I love JT, man. I'm not even gonna lie.
And you know,
I mean, not the music.
You know Jacob Schultz, keyboard player.
Yeah,
Jacob
Schultz,
Schultz?
yeah.
He had the best live concert he's ever seen. Dude, he plays them, you know.
Yeah,
what
no,
I mean?
he's Moonlight.
Is
Yeah, he's
Justin Timberlake.
Whoa.
All right.
I was floored when he told me.
And I hear,
I'm gonna make fun of him for that next time I see him.
Oh,
yeah.
He'll confirm it, brother. It's the gospel.
Hey,